This is a brief introduction to StatTag. StatTag version 3.0 has been installed on this computer operating in a Microsoft environment. To start out with StatTag, from the StatTag toolbar, click on Code Files. From this box, Manage Code Files. Code files can be linked to your Word document. Click on Add File, which will open a Windows Explorer box through which you can navigate to your code files on your computer. For this example, we will use a Stata example, a SAS example, and an R example. We'll first start with the Stata example. Click on the code file, click Open, and OK. You've now linked your code file to your Microsoft Word document. For our first example, we'll show how values are inserted into Word. We'll use our Stata file to insert the total number of participants in the trial. To do so, we'll click on Define Tag, which will open a window showing our code file linked to the document. First, we'll give our tag a name, in this case, total N. We'll use the default setting right now to have this tag refresh always. We're going to return a value to Word, and we'll use the default formatting. Since we have attached a Stata file, the commands that we can use to return a value are display, dis, and d. We'll scroll to the location within our Stata file where we have a value returned. In this case, we're using the display command. We're expecting to see that there are 250 observations returned. We've clicked in the margin of the document, which will highlight the line of interest. You can highlight more than one line, but the preferred method for returning information to StatTag is to highlight the line of interest, in this case the display command. From here we can either click on Save or Save and Insert. Clicking on Save will save the tag within your Stata file, but will not return the value to your document. Clicking Save and Insert in Word will save the Stata file, run the Stata file in the background, and insert the result within Word. We'll click Save and Insert in Word. Stata has been run in the background, and we've returned our result of interest. The total N is 250. The same information can be returned using either R. Here we'll add our R file to our document. We'll define the tag using the R file as total N R, using the same settings of always refreshing, a value, and default. And then using any R command that will return a value, in this case N row. We've returned the same information of N equals 250, and we can use the same thing in SAS. So we will add our SAS file, and we'll define our tag. In this case, attaching the SAS file, naming this total N SAS, refreshing the value always, returning a value, and using the default format. In SAS, to return a number, we must use the %put command. We've had the same result returned, 250. We'll use SAS to show the example table. In this case, we're returning a table 1, which will include drug by gender. We'll use the define tag command to select from the SAS file. Here we have table 1. We're going to refresh always, but in this case we're going to return a table. There are several other things that you can do to format a table from StatTag. For now, we'll use the default formatting. We'll show all rows and all columns. In SAS, we'll use the ODS-CSV command in order to insert a table. The ODS-CSV command uses the output of whatever information is encapsulated by these commands to save that as a CSV file on your computer. In this case, we're printing a dataset called gender table, which contains the results of a proc-freq command showing gender and drug treatment. In this case, we're highlighting all of the text between ODS CSV file and ODS CSV close. We'll click Save and Insert, and we've returned a table. You can also use StatTag to return a table within Stata using the matrix list or the make matrix, matrix define commands, or using R with any command that returns a table. Finally, we can show a figure. In this case, we will use R to show a figure of drug by B blood pressure difference. We'll use the define tag window, choose our R file, name our inserted figure figure 1, ensure that it refreshes always, ensure that returning a figure, and then scroll to the location in the document which contains the information that will output this figure. In this case, we're using a PDF command in R. You can use any command that returns figure output to a location on your computer. We'll highlight all of the information used to create this figure and click Save and Insert. This simple example has shown how to insert a number using either Stata, R, or SAS, how to insert a table using SAS, and how to insert a figure using R.